Hi YouTubers. I was talking earlier in my video before going to the school I work at and teaching a class at night about how to build models, and what the ladies at the PTA came up with is building snap kits, because it's easier for the kids who are young, which young means from kindergarten to 5th grade where I work, to build this 34 Ford street rod snap together kit. It came in a plastic bulk pack that they bought a whole bunch of stickers, and they could build the kit in two different ways. One way they could build it is with just fenderless version, which is this one here, the one that my daughter had done earlier, that when she was into building snaps. Now she's a little bit better and doing some glue ones with some help, and the other version is with the full fenders and putting decals on. That's what they came up with, and that's about what they looked like when they were done. We had approximately 25 kids go through the class, which two different classes we had, so we broke it up in half. It worked out pretty decent. I also brought a bunch of my models and a bunch of stuff for resin and stuff to show the kids what's the difference between normal plastic and resin plastic, and brought the display down here and showed the kids how it was built. Brought my garage scene down, the one that I'm building with the 2x4s, which I put on the back burners of finishing up, but all the walls are done. Brought down a few other things, wiring and stuff like that, just so that they knew the difference between the plastic, snap together, glue together, and what some of the models that I that I have, and some of the trophies I won when I was entering into classes and that, and winning. That's about it. Hi, back on the workbench here, showing a few things I did. Grab the camera and bring it in closer. A few things I've been working on the workbench. Having fun here. Still working on the 55 Pro Street. Almost got it done. I'm going to start putting the glass in pretty soon. It's turning out pretty cool. Turning steering, turning wheels. The 55 sedan delivery is coming around. Got some wheels and tires on it. Got it everything in there fairly decent. Got to do a radiator hose, and still have to do the exhaust system on there. Not for a while. Not going to do any bare metal foil on it. Just going to do a little bit of silver painting on the chrome line. That's maybe a little bit on the lettering there. I'm fairly, when my hands aren't shaking so much, I can do a pretty decent job. Working on another 59 El Camino. Just has a stock engine in there, nothing big. Went with blue because I had lots of blue paint left over from that one, from the Bel Air. Decided that I was going to put a camper on it, so I took the camper from an older kit of a 65 Chevy El Camino that I had, and to make it fit I had to cut the front section off the camper, trim real close to the window, still give it some support here on the top and the bottom after cutting it off the bottom section, gluing it in place, cutting some off of here the same distance so that when it's glued back in it's like it was when it was stock. I had to cut a little off here so that it would fit. Added a chunk in here to support the front of it, and got it into the back end here. Realized that it was still just a little tall on the back end with the tailgate on and everything, so I had to cut the bottom off, take it off, and then glue it back into the back side of it, putting a couple pieces in there so that it would give it some strength, so that when it's sitting in there, on there, it looks about like so when I get it done and finish detail painting the rest of it up, that it'll look kind of neat for that. I did do a different grill in here. I cut it to fit around there just because I ran out of the stock stuff I had floating around. I didn't want to cut it off a new tree because it's just one that I had laying around. So that's what it's going to look like. The angle is fairly decent and looks real close to the rear window, so it's going to look pretty cool on there. You can let me know how it is, if you guys like it or not. One other project I've been working on with a bunch of pieces, because I was working on the Bel Air so much, I thought, I got to do something neat. So what I did is I took and started working on another one. I have a whole bunch of parts, as if you hadn't noticed. Took the rear section where the off the back of a roof of the 58 Impala, put it on here just to make it look like the third taillight or whatever up there, or rear vent, whatever you want to call it or use it as. Just thought it looked kind of cool in the detailing. Removed the door handles, still got a little bit more work to do. Just make it come apart here a little bit. Took 58 Impala fender skirts, cut everything to fit in here just right so that it's hiding in there real nice. Got to do just a little bit of work on each side back there. To the back of it, I put quad taillights, dual taillights, excuse me, on each side. Made it look like a Cadillac version on there. Thought that kind of looked kind of cool, a little different. One other major thing I did, let the interior fall out of it for now, is I took 58 Impala front fenders with the dual headlights on each side, cut it to fit. I basically cut it across here and up over the top, and then down each side here real close, left it so I had something to glue to, glued it all in place, made sure that the body line fit pretty good each way on both sides, so I had to do just a little bit of trimming to make it fit. Used the custom front end from the 58, and because you're putting it on the 55 Bel Air, I had to narrow it, so when I was narrowing it, I thought, well, why have it pointed out so that I can still use the 55 hood. So what I did is, after I cut it, I put it on flat, narrowed it to fit, and got it situated nice and straight. Molded in there really good. Working on a little bit of the body work of it. Still just a little bit more work to do. When I had the fenders on there, because the wheel opening was different, I took another 55, laid it on here, scribed the line all the way around so that I could cut the wheel opening so it would be the same as it was, so that I could use the 55 Bel Air chassis. And then I took the custom from the 58 Impala, cut on the 55, cut the interior tub, cut it down so that I could get this to fit in here, and so that it would fit up in the windshield just right. Had to narrow this just a little bit going across, getting it to be centered in there. Took the custom Impala center console and put it in there. Got to do quite a little bit of work there yet. It's looking fairly decent, so that when it's inside there, that the windshield fits just right there and in back. I'm going to take the center post out of here because it just, to me, it doesn't look right. I was going to chop the roof, but I thought, no, not this time. Maybe next time again. Anyways, comment, let me know how you're doing. Subscribe. This is Mr. Modelnut saying bye.